Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am, and you are not. I'm more Toddy One Skip than you are. Guys, how you doing? This is part 2 of Fancy Macelli continues. Continues to be messy. So this is part 2 of 2. I put up part 1 yesterday or this morning. Now it's part 2 of 2. And this is a series of how Fancy makes horrible mistakes, blames everybody else for it, holds everybody else accountable for everything except herself. Again, and how she will run anybody over on the bus over and over and over and over again just to save herself, and how people still believe her and work with her. A huge thanks to Resident Midnight and Mrs. Fancy Pants for coming on this channel, exposing the Good Wives Network, exposing Fancy Macelli and who she be, and all of her little minions that follow her around. So again, Resident Midnight, thank you for all of this impeccable work that you've done in holding these people accountable. And thank you again for coming on this channel and trusting this channel and this community as a safe place to be able to talk about everything that's happened to you because of Fancy Macelli and how close you are to exposing her. You've done it. Now it's up to everybody to see it. So thank you for that. And I really mean that. And Mrs. Fancy Pants, thank you too. Guys, duck for cover because it's about to come down. Check this out, guys. Part 2 of 2. Fancy. Ryan Lee. It's not a good look, guys. Not a good look. And it's from you guys. It's from you. Nothing I'm doing. You've done it all. So thank you for that.
Why am I fighting with so many people? Because I'm lovely and pleasant. Can't you tell? You guys want to say that Fancy's unhinged? Hi, my name's Ryan, and Fancy's got nothing on me.
Oh, okay. So
She's
these
proud of that.
I
are.
was going to say the same thing. I mean,
Was she not voting about that?
I'm shocked. I mean, like that. Why would you? Anyway, go ahead. I'll never. I don't have.
I would never be proud of that.
I don't
You
have.
could see it in her eyes that she was like, "I'm so unhinged." Like, and Fancy brags about being unhinged too.
Who's the most unhinged?
Ooh, I think
That's a
that.
good question.
Okay, but
know.
see, they're different. One's overt and one's covert. So it's like I think they're the same level. They just manifest in different ways.
Yeah.
But so this was the first live that I ever commented. This is actually the only time I have ever commented because there's me exposing the Good Wives Network. Okay.
Right.
And so this shows that I have been calling Fancy out about these emails. Like it was all the way back last year, but this is August. So I commented and I said, Fancy, want to talk about you staging emails with Nick yet? And she said that, there's like 4 screenshots for this, but she like, see how she immediately, instead of answering the questions, she deflects and tries to personally attack me and insult my intelligence to make everyone think that I'm too stupid to understand what I'm talking about.
Well, I've seen them do that so many times. I've always loved exposing the Good Wives Network before I even knew who you were. I was on that channel. I subscribed to that channel. I think that I even talked about that channel on my channel when I watched your video. I loved those videos. And I was
really?
so like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to take them all down
because
of a copyright. That's where all my content went.
Glad you're back. Oh. There you go. There you go. And what are we doing?
So there's 4 screenshots. Do you care to pause on each one so I could say something about each one?
Nope. Tell me which one to pause again.
Okay, the next one. We can go to the next one. Okay, this one. So she's making me out to be like I'm too dumb to understand what I'm talking about. And then I said, Natasha put out the contract proving you did that, Fancy. And Fancy said, Boker was writing to him and doing all that in March and April. She didn't come to me until June, and Christy was all too happy to encourage her. So she actually implicated, I did not catch this last time. She actually implicated Christy in the Nick infiltration by name. And I get that this is not, because it's Fancy, you know, her word is not 100% fallible, but I've not seen her.
That's up to the police to check that out.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
I
said,
I'm reading it now.
Twitter.
I brought it close to me. So it says, exposing the Good Wives Network wrote, Natasha put out the contract proving you did that, Fancy. So let me go back to the last one and let me read that. All right.
Okay.
This way, because, all right.
They're in order.
Okay. Yep. The Good Wives Network wrote, none of you are good people.
Yeah. We're terrible.
Exposing the Good Wives Network wrote, Fancy, want to talk about you staging emails with Nick yet? Ooh. And the Good Wives Network says, funny, babe. I proved already I didn't do that with Boker. And Good Wives Network also says, you can't even comprehend a calendar. How can you comprehend anything else? And has cheese? Is that it? Has cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, has cheese. I get it. You put the narrative out there that she would be responsible if something happened.
Oh, they were talking to Ryan.
Okay.
See, the people in the comments are arguing with Ryan, and they're trying to distract me, and I was focusing on Fancy.
I believe that. Okay, so then we'll go to, you can't even read a calendar. Okay, that's bullshit, because I know you can.
You watched me do it on the last slide.
That's right. And then exposing the Good Wives Network says, Natasha put out the contract proving you did that, Fancy. And the Good Wives Network replies, Boker was writing him and doing all that in March and April. She didn't come to me until June, and Christy was all happy to encourage her. What did I tell you guys about the fact that she'll just throw you down and run you over again and again and again? Natasha's a fraud, laugh out loud. You don't know shit, the Good Wives Network says.
And then I said that it's all still on Twitter, Fancy. And then every time that I say, like, this is why I started recording these people, because I would say, like, hey, this is still out there. And they're like, prove it. And I'm like, okay, I will. And so I went and dropped the link to the Justice for Nick G Twitter account where the all the info about the Nick infiltration is.
I see that right there. I see that.
Yeah, because I always they always say I'm a liar and I make stuff up. So every time I say something, I'm like, I have either a video, a screenshot, or a link ready to go.
I think that's awesomeness. All right. Is there another screenshot coming?
Yeah, there's two more.
Okay. All right. So then Fancy says, so I'm going to read Fancy's and you'll read yours. All right.
That works.
Okay. So the Good Wives Network. When Nasty Pooper is your effing source, you must be. Why did I have to read that?
I'm sorry, Toddy.
When Nasty Pooper is your effing source, you must be daft as shit. And they use the word fucking. Go ahead.
Yep. And then I said, are you incapable of having a conversation without resorting to insults, Fancy? And I also want to clarify that Natasha Cooper is not the source. The source is the document that was leaked by Natasha Cooper. This is not what somebody said. There is an actual contract.
Right. I saw that contract. I had it up there.
Yes.
Right.
And so Natasha Cooper was the first one to put it out. And that's why I said that. And you see how she just has to twist stuff.
No, she's not trying to twist stuff. She's trying to, she's trying to like distract, like show you, no, here it is. Don't go down that stairwell. Come over.
Deflect,
here.
Attack, reverse victim, and offender roles.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo. So,
and look what she said to me in response to me saying, are you incapable of having a conversation without resorting to insults?
We don't talk about the 17 hermit crabs, 2 dogs, 3 crabs, and 4 axolotls.
Axolotls. Yeah, because, and then it's so funny because
you lied about
in
killing.
June, Fancy was making posts about the pets too. So that's how she goes back and forth. But the response to the top comment is the bottom one.
Mm.
She said, "Not with you exposing, not with you. You deserve every visceral thing I say to you." 304. She literally tried. I don't know if we can say this. Can you say SLUT on YouTube or no?
Well, we know how to spell. We know what it is.
Okay, yeah. So she's literally trying to like shame people. Like, why are you calling me that?
Why'd she call you a hoe?
Oh, well, I think so. There's this other, you know how I get accused of being like 35 different people like every week. So one of them is an adult content creator, and so they actually think that I'm this adult content creator, and that's not me.
It's so funny that
Fancy thought that she would discredit me by saying that that's me.
Yeah.
I thought Fancy was an exotic dancer, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she was, because after this she went on a whole, when she thought that was me, right? And she went on a whole tirade of shaming adult content creators and making fun of women who do that. And then she backpedaled. She actually got backlash for that. People were like, man, that's kind of messed up. And like, it's, you know, it's like you're picking something completely irrelevant to try to discredit someone with. And so then she backpedaled, and that's when it turns out that Fancy's like, I don't judge adult content creators. I had an OnlyFans, and I used to be a stripper.
Right. That's right. Yes.
She's been everything in the world. She's everything in the world.
She's a network executive right now.
Here's the thing.
Don't underestimate her.
She has done a lot of things, but it does. I don't know.
She said she's done a lot of things.
No. I mean, like, I'm talking about like the Temu stuff and the MLM bullshit and all the stuff that, you know, she hasn't really, I mean, stuff that she's done, but she hasn't accomplished a lot of things, and that's on her.
She has no real accomplishments.
Exactly.
She even dropped out of theater school.
She has no follow through. I said that. She has, and I'm not saying that again to make fun. She has no follow through, but a bunch of bullshit.
Nick was developmentally delayed, and unfortunately,
for sure,
100%.
Yeah, and he was honest. I mean, he sat down with those detectives, and when they're like, you know, kind of like, Nick, we know, he's like, all right, I'm going to tell you the truth, because he is developmentally delayed and doesn't have the ability to. And that's normal with most people who are autistic. They don't really have the ability to discern people's body languages and call out lies.
No, he had no way.
Fancy, you see that down there?
What is it? What was it?
It says Nick didn't unalive Dee Dee. Dan did. Dee Dee's TOD was the 9th. Nick got there on the 10th. Huh. But I know Fancy has all the records legitimately. So
okay, so legitimately. That is misinformation that has been perpetuated out there, and I'm not even sure how it got out this way. But Nicholas did arrive in time for the schmurder to happen. The reason there is a discrepancy is based on how time of death is determined, and at the beginning, the time of.
Do you notice when she takes on that superiority that I know it more than you do?
Mm-hmm.
That
she has a tone.
Snottiness, like she's got a snottiness tone where her mouth twists a little bit. Or something.
Yeah, so I added this in to show that, like, last July, she was literally saying that Nick might not have even been there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so her story just changed completely. But also the person, Doggy Lover, the person hosting this live, this is Macy Pomeranz. Okay, do you remember before how I told you that there's a content creator on Fancy's team that caused Nick to lose his phone privileges?
Yes,
that's her.
The woman that's sitting there?
Yes. So she not only caused Nick to lose his phone privileges while being on Fancy's team. Yeah, the one in front of the Chucky doll. Right. She also is the one who hosted the live with Fancy on panel where they streamed his neighborhood.
Well, it wasn't even Nick's neighborhood. Nick never lived there at any point. It's his father's neighborhood.
Ooh, scam on the people. How many people had to pay for that?
Death was determined by her, you know, her body temperature and things like that. However, the crime scene was tampered with turning down of the air conditioner. So it made it hard for investigators to know the exact timeline of her death. But no, Nick was in town on time, able to do so. It's just a misinformation based on the time of death. That's it. But I do think that Dan and Gypsy
I just want to share with that because I don't like the misinformation, and we know Fancy got the document.
I personally believe she was dead 2 days prior. So, but according to their freaking timeline, Nick was in town. I don't believe that's when it went down.
Napkin.
And that would explain the bruising and stuff on her hands that healed as what were healing.
I think it went down in the shed. The shed is wet inside, which means that they hosed it down.
You know what's funny is that she doesn't even admit to saying any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was something that it was just a theory. And you know what? Not when she says it with the fact that she was still calling herself the leading expert. Yeah, that's the problem.
At some point in time prior to the investigation, and the investigators would not have done that. So she obviously did that. Yes, it was raining outside, but there would be no reason why the inside of the shed would be soaked like that, and the floor is soaked.
She's a scientist.
You can look at that.
And based on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was one of you guys.
That evidence. That would mean that maybe Nick wasn't even there at all when Dee Dee was murdered.
Correct. It could. There's a definite possibility for this.
So last year he wasn't there, like according to Fancy.
And that wasn't even like, guys, like, I'm serious. That's like half a year ago. You know, I mean, like that was in July, just last July. We're only in February. March, April, May, June, July. That was 7 months ago, guys. 7 months ago. Crazy lady.
And I wonder that she was in the bed then.
2 days. Well, I don't know. Okay, so 2 days before is when she was supposedly kicked out, right? So I think that's when it happened.
Are you kidding me? 7 months ago, she really thought that she was still kicked out and put on the porch, like Gypsy's story says?
Yeah. Yes. There have been many times where she was actually like, some of Gypsy's lies, she was putting them out as if they were fact.
I never believed that. I never, ever believed that. And I had no information. I mean, I just didn't believe it. As soon as I figured out that Gypsy lied, and I only knew that Gypsy lied because she lied every time on every show when she opened up her mouth, and I'm like, yeah, this.
And she admits she lied to everyone on every
exactly
show.
That
without conscious.
Without conscious, there is a clip of her saying that, and she's all giddy about it. She thinks it's funny. No, bitch, you're a liar, and people just can't trust what you say.
Yes,
but I mean, like, just 7 months ago. Wow. The leading expert.
There'd have been no reason for her to go back if her mother had already kicked her out. I do think she was staying in the Days Inn where Nicholas ran into her with Dan for the 2 days that they were away from the house. I think that he did run into her and see her there, and he did not recognize her at first. And then I think she snowed him into thinking, you know, oh, well, this happened and that happened, but we still have to go back and do this because she'll still come find me. And so I really think it went down 2 days earlier in the shed. I think that there's another person involved that helped move the body because the blood pooling, the lividity, all of that does not match the crime scene.
Okay, do you guys remember last year? I
actually said lividity and not lipidity.
Oh, well, there was like when Ryan. Okay, so Ryan and I swear Ryan gets a thesaurus before lives and like looks up big words to seem intelligent. And like I remember when Ryan and Fancy first discovered the word lividity, they said it 43 times in one live the first time they learned that word.
So we had to put the word in there, I reckon.
Yes.
Or she had to.
Dan is her married 35-year-old boyfriend with kids and a huge long rap sheet. That's who Dan is.
I just got
to the main like road to go on to the street. So I'm gonna turn my camera on and turn it around so you guys can see while I record on my other phone for Fancy.
Fantastic.
3:33
This is
is
so
fast.
creepy, and this
Yeah.
pisses me off because Nick
How
has
did they?
never lived at this house. This is not the house where Gypsy and Nick were arrested. This has nothing to do with the crime. This is just invading Bobby Go to John's privacy, and this is disgusting.
At some point, they say that they walk by the post office, and they say, "And we think this is the post office that the weapon was mailed to."
Yeah, the
or from.
closest post office right there. I heard that first of all, it was mailed to their house, not to the post office. The post office had to deliver it. That's it. You know what I mean? It was delivered to their house. You know what I'm saying? Because they got it from the house. They didn't pick it up from the post office. It was mailed to their home, right? So none
Right.
of that.
There's
makes
no
any
reason
sense,
for
but
this
it's not
entire
even-
thing to happen.
But it wasn't even that post office.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the house that Nick was living in with his mom and stepdad,
It's not.
well, that doesn't surprise me about Fancy.
Get the dead body back inside Dee Dee was big. I think somebody else was involved in that.
So this is the main, like,
How do you feel
the main road.
Okay.
And then as we're
We can't see
walking-
anything right now, babes.
Okay, let me. Okay, there it goes.
There we go.
Okay.
Now we can see.
So there
Awesome.
is the main road when you get on to turn
Okay.
onto the street.
Okay.
Here is the street that you have to walk down to then turn down onto the other street. So then you can turn. There's a truck that's gonna be pulling out right there that you can turn down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also go straight. And this is where all of the police and everything were at the time when they had discovered the knife and everything at the house at Nick's house.
Okay. Yeah.
So, again, because I wanted to be clear, about what's going on here. So, this woman, I guess, lives in the area. This is the woman that went allegedly and got Nick's privileges taken away from him.
Well, okay, the person hosting the live is that person, but
Right.
the person streaming it right now is not the same one.
So the person hosting the live is which person?
Okay, in the very beginning of the live, did you see the woman in the pink shirt?
The one that was in front of the Chucky doll.
Yes, that is the one who made Nick lose his phone privileges, and now she is hosting a live where his neighborhood is being streamed. But she's not the, like, she's having someone on panel do it for her. But it's kind of like how Fancy is, like, they said, "Oh, Fancy had nothing to do with this. She's completely innocent." Like, just be like, you were on panel and
I
condoning it,
understand
though.
what you're saying, but and somebody's on there having it go live on the channel is what you're saying. This person's taking
It would be the
video
equivalent
it.
of, like, right now, like, I'm on your panel and then I'm doing it, like, while you're hosting.
Right, but I would be the one responsible for showing it to the public.
Your panel.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. So the one who owns the panel is the one who caused Nick to lose his phone privileges.
Right. But again, we're in a neighborhood that was his dad's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they
And
keep
he
talking
didn't
about
live
looking
with his
for his
dad.
house.
Yeah, but he
Correct.
didn't live with his dad. So that's
Correct.
the thing
It's-
that you guys want to make a point of saying is that
It's unrelated and it's gross.
it absolutely is. Why did
It's such an invasion of privacy.
exactly why was this invited? So
Yes.
okay. Yeah, well it just shows again character.
And boundaries.
Yeah, she was kicked out 2 days
Exactly, which is no character,
prior.
no boundaries.
And there's houses on
Both sides. Okay. Now, where did they have it blocked off from?
They had it blocked off all the way from way down there.
Way down there. Oh, wow. Okay.
And they had every end street blocked off too. So then there's more houses here. And I'll take you up this way first. and then back around.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Wonder how much she paid her.
So then this would be the
Fancy
Mulberry
doesn't pay
Street and
anyone
Park
anything.
I know she gives them. Oh God, you walk away in debt.
Avenue. And then again, the house is on both sides of the street.
What does this have to do with anything?
And they had it all the way.
How is the house on both sides of the street? That's a pretty amazing house.
They blocked off down there, but this buildings at the end of the street used to not be there. They were recently built after. But this is what it would look like just on the street.
Yeah.
And there was also a just on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere coming up, because you can see the comments on the side. Someone's like,
And there
"Where's
was
Nick's
also
house?"
What were you saying?
Oh, since you can read the comments on the side, somewhere coming up in the beginning of this part, like people start asking, like, "Oh, which one's Nick's house? Where's Nick's house?"
No, this was Nick's neighborhood. Somebody, so Dank Harley Quinn.
I don't think she's the one who asked though, because
No,
they
but-
actually go, "Where's Nick's house?"
Right. So do you want me to see that?
Oh, I was just pointing it out because it's coming up.
Skull Diamond at the end of the other street that I'll take you down.
Okay, cool.
That everyone would go to.
Interesting.
What's interesting? Here we go. Yeah, Harley Quinn is the one.
Oh,
that
I was
goes-
wrong. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was her.
Yeah, it's on the bottom here. Do you see it? Where is
Yeah, I
it
see it now.
Okay. So, okay. I thought she put her mom to bed after painting nails and then opened the door for Nick. There's a lot of questions. Where is Nick's house? And, this is
And of course, all the houses are like different colors now.
Yeah.
But still the exact same.
the same as it was that nothing was happened there.
Someone wants to know what lake was
I don't remember, Shorty. I don't remember what lake it was, but I can look it up, but I don't know right now. So are you getting close to his house now?
I don't understand the significance even of
So this is
looking
Nick's
at the
neighborhood,
house where
guys.
Nick and Gypsy were arrested. Like, there's no significance to that house. It's not
I
a crime
agree.
scene. It's just they happened to be there when they were arrested.
Something about clout chasing.
Right?
Wow.
Well, here's the thing with Nick and whether he should be out or not, guys. Look, Nick is a disturbed man whose family does not believe in mental health care. His mother's side did, but his father's side does not, and his mother is gone now. So all he's got is his dad and that side of the family. And they are very conspiracy theorist, kind of like the government's out to get you kind of people. And I don't have any problem with those people. In fact, a lot of them are true at this point. But his father does not believe in any type of like medical drugs or anything like that. So here's the two situations I believe with Nick. If he did not unalive Dee Dee himself, he should not be in prison. He should still be somewhere in a facility that he can get treatment and things because he needs it. Now, if he did do this, or even if he thinks he did this, then yes, I would say that he should be inside in a mental health facility, not a prison. Prison is doing nothing for him, and you can see the rapid decline that he has taken in the last several years.
How does she know anything about this?
That's what I want to know. What makes her an expert?
She must be talking to him or having somebody talk to him.
Yeah, she's been keeping tabs on him throughout the years, and we have no way of knowing how many people she's had reach out to him.
For everyone who's joining in the chat, the person speaking is Fancy Macelli from the Good Wives Network, And the video that we're watching currently live is from one of the awesome community contributors taking us on a journey of what would have been Nick's neighborhood.
Right now, we're going to go to the post office, which is right down the street.
He would even thrive in a group home, and that's what I kind of feel like he deserves. I think that Nick should be somewhere that he can live somewhat a semblance of a normal life, but I do believe that he should be heavily monitored regardless, because what makes Nick dangerous is that he is highly susceptible to manipulation by women, and
yet
we've seen it very many times.
And yet she says that knowing that she used a woman to manipulate Nick.
Well, and also because 1 minute he did it and the next minute he didn't. And
Yes.
1 minute
Or he thinks he did it.
Exactly.
1 minute he's a goofy boy with a beard.
He's the devil with all the BDSM stuff going on in his head, and he's all of that, and he introduced Gypsy to that because he's the psychotic one, the sociopath, whatever she said he was to Ken, remember? Remember? So, you know, it depends on the day of the week, apparently. In the meantime, it's a guy's life. It's his life.
He does not recognize that these women are manipulative, and
this is like laughable. Are you kidding me? She's sending people in there, and she has the audacity to say that, and there's proof that she sent Don Boker in there, that Don Boker worked with her, and she has the audacity to make that comment that he can't figure it out. So let's just that is not a good person.
You know, it just not a good thing.
Fancy.
So how is
For with Nick, is there any hard evidence that Dee Dee was alive? Because, like, as we're having this conversation, the idea that Nick Godejohn is sitting in prison for unaliving someone who was potentially already unalived just feels so wrong.
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly.
Yeah.
At this time, I do not have proof that she was alive or dead at the time that Nick arrived.
Fancy doesn't have proof of jack shit.
I was, you know what? That's the thing. That's what I'm sitting here saying is in my head is like, now you're not going to be the medical examiner. Now you're going to be the investigator. Like, how many hats do you think you're wearing here? And all of them don't fit, man. Not
Fancy
a one
thinks
fits. Not a one
she
fit.
thinks she has more information than the investigators. Well, guess what? They have information you don't have. A whole bunch of it.
She's got wrong
and training and credentials.
And wrong
yeah.
information. She's bad. She's not good at this at all.
Just makes it so much worse because this could potentially be a mental.
She's at the wrong house. I mean, come on. She's at the wrong house. I mean, like.
Yeah, we used to always say, Fancy, your detective skills suck.
Mentally incapacitated man who's sitting, believing or thinking that he did something awful that he never even did because he was manipulated to believe it.
No, she's not just riding a bike and live streaming. This is Nick's neighborhood. She's just kind of showing us around for me to have this later on.
That's Nick's dad's neighborhood. Nick didn't live there. You're an idiot.
Right now, we are going to the post office right down the street from Nick's old house,
where Gypsy probably mailed the schmurder weapon out of, or sent to it from.
Okay, so yes, he did say something about Dee Dee talking. He did say that she yelled out Gypsy, whatever. But I'm going to tell you that in that moment, his recollection of events.
His recollection, guys.
Yeah, that was.
You ever had a recollection before?
Yeah.
No, but I've mispronounced words, but I usually would go back and fix it, like recollection, not
Right?
recalculation, but who knows what she was. This is funny. What's
She's
funny
probably
is we're
drunk
sitting
again,
here walking down the
allegedly.
sidewalk to a place that there's no reason. Like there's
Right.
no reason. And did this person not have a car? Were they afraid to drive up? I'm trying like it's
I
funny.
think they rode their bike.
I'm sure that he went into a type of shock, and I do
Here we go
believe
again.
that he probably ended up in what some people would call either the black zone or the red zone, where it only
What some people
is
would call,
whatever
but
it
not
is that you're
experts.
doing that you can you can really focus on. You don't see anything else. You don't hear anything else. You don't.
She really thinks that she knows it all here. I mean, she really thinks that she knows it all here. And
She truly sees herself as an expert.
and how many days ago? I mean, he wasn't even at the scene.
Hmm.
Well, that was the same day.
When was it?
That was the same day. That was the same live that she said that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was like a 4-hour live total, and so these are
She just switches back and forth.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. This is bad detective work, if I'm honest. Really
if he
bad.
didn't do it, why are they going to this house?
Why are they going to that house anyway? It was his dad's house.
I agree. Why go anywhere but Gypsy's house, where the murder happened?
Where the crime scene took place.
Yeah.
Know anything else. So if that
let me guess, this was an exclusive. People had to pay for it.
Was the case,
It was an
then
exclusive,
I think that
I'm
Gypsy
sure.
could have easily
Why didn't
said
they
to
go
him,
to the motel where they had the brownies, where he was eating brownies and later he would be eating her? They could have gotten
that
the
would be
same
more relevant.
Room. It would have
Yeah,
been.
they could have booked the
At
room.
least he was there.
And be like,
They could
this
have
is where
sat on
Gypsy
the
and Nick
bed.
sat.
At some point they were there. Gypsy was never here. Gypsy was never here. You know what I'm saying? And
They
Nick
could have
was
sat
there
on the
to
same bed eating brownies.
Yes. They could have done their own dramatic reenactment.
God, no, please. Oh, God, just the thought of that. No, please. No, please.
Hey, Ryan could be Nick and Fancy could be Gypsy, and they could feed each other brownies.
No, that's a visual I don't want in my head.
oh my God, she was crying out for me and it was horrible. And oh God, it's just so bad. You know what I mean? But there are no defense wounds. There's nothing to indicate that Dee Dee even woke up one time during any of this. And if you flip her over and you look at her, like I said, the lividity on her arms and her
That's two.
stomach and stuff is not correct. It looks like she was laying the opposite way than she was. And she also, her nose looks like it's bashed in. There's just too many things to call this what it is. Like, they should have never stopped investigating. I'm hoping the autopsy will...
They stop investigating.
You hear how she takes that tone again, where she's almost twisting her mouth like she's a professional?
Yeah, it sounds like she has rubber band lips.
Exactly. She does, and it sounds like she's almost like with her nose. It's when she takes that. It's almost like a superiority like thing, like a know-it-all type. It's
delusions
disgusting.
of grandeur.
Who is she mimicking?
I don't know. She's
Nancy
got
Grace.
a few personalities of her own. I got
Could
news
be
for
Nancy
ya.
Grace, actually. I've noticed that she mimics other people. Like,
she does.
Oh, who was that? The
Michelle
prayer
Dean.
circle with the gun.
Oh.
She mimics her. Yes, Michelle Dean, she mimics. There's several people that she tries to impersonate, and I think she feels like it gives her more
Credibility.
more credibility. Yeah.
Yeah, she has no credibility in my book.
Be available soon. To my understanding, all of Nick's appeals, even the one to the federal Supreme Court, have now been denied. I have to confirm that last one, but yeah.
And at the time of this case, this subdivision that's back here did not exist.
Did not exist. Oh, wow. Okay.
It was only built within the last like 2-3 years.
Did anybody see the MPG video, the Cornerstone Nation? Did they post another video or something?
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch them. I think they're very uncredible, and I don't think that they're helping Nicholas.
Uncredible.
Does she think that they're credible at all?
She thinks they're uncredible.
They're not credible, Fancy Smancy.
I think it's. I was like, oh, it's like because back then I don't know what was going on with them, but I don't think that they had a lot of controversy, and so back then I was like, oh, well, you just don't like them because they made you in that one Shrew Crew edit.
She likes them now. Now when they have a bunch
Oh,
of
she likes them now.
Oh yeah, because
she hated them back then.
That girl Karen. Oh, that woman Karen. Oh yeah, wait, because I heard this. I heard this part before. So.
Fancy, I have to agree with you on that.
I'm sorry. Nobody ever is around Nick that wants to actually help Nick.
Like you.
I don't know who's behind that page, truly.
I know a couple of people that I know, one that definitely is behind it and one that I suspect is behind it with that person. And these people are not good people for Nick. These are not good people for Nick. They are encouraging him to do things that he should not be.
Yeah, like did you include yourself on that list?
Yep.
Doing. He should,
and none of
them. You can't find the right neighborhood. So let's find the right person.
So she says none of them are good, right? And that woman Karan James, the one that she is friends with, that they post and all that stuff, and she thinks Fancy's great. Well, she don't think that of you, Karen.
Not be fat shaming people or making fun of.
Was he fat
shaming people?
Be doing all of.
Was he fat shaming people? When was he fat shaming people?
What she's talking about in the edit that NPG made, the Shrew Crew, they made her like really big eating like Wendy's.
What does that have to do with him? He's not fat shaming anybody then. She's saying that he shouldn't be fat shaming people.
She's equating like because they are supposed to represent Nick that he's doing. That's the reasoning. It's not her strong suit.
In a cell. He thinks he's sitting in a cell making content for TikTok. Yeah, he's got a jailbroken laptop.
No, I think she knows better because I think she's seen the inside of a cell block. She knows that they don't do that shit there. But you could keep hoping.
That, and I don't think he is. I think they're doing it, and they're saying that it's Nicholas and giving him a bad name, and I don't think that that's good for him either.
Right.
Oh my God, she really did think that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I'm glad I could show you guys like the distance between like
what an idiot
his house and the post office.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't believe she really thought that.
Oh, you're being facetious.
Oh my God, I didn't think she really did think that. I didn't think that, man.
No, she really did.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't think she really believed. She's an idiot.
Truer words have not been spoken.
I'm sorry. Oh God! Just when I try to give her a little bit of credit.
Where are we at with the appeals process for Nick?
To my understanding, we're at the end of the road. I think the final one to the actual federal Supreme Court was denied.
So I don't think that he had any more appeals. He had the clemency at this point, I believe. Am I wrong in that, or did he have a final appeal, or do you guys know?
It's only been clemency.
Yeah. So she doesn't even, but she has a law degree that if she takes like one more course or something, right?
Right. She'll have her
know
JD
that
law.
is Missouri.
That's what I'm saying. Like she says that she'll do that. Well, there's a difference between a clemency and an appeal, but she'll learn that as she continues on with law school, no doubt.
Supreme Court was denied. They did not transfer it to the Supreme Court, and they did not want to reopen his case or send it back down to a lower court to even consider reopening the case. They denied his appeal.
Is there a way to petition the court to reopen Nick's case? Like,
Can I just say how glad I am that that we can't petition the courts to charge someone or release someone? Like, that should not be done by petition, in my opinion.
I don't think that it should be done by petition to release somebody by popular demand, but I think that if there's enough evidence in a case to have it relooked at, I think that there should be reason. I think that a lot of times things get found out after the fact, because look at what they did with that case. They never completed an investigation after they got Gypsy's admission. And after they never
Right.
found
Once
out
they
the
accept the plea
reason
deal.
behind it. There was exactly. So, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I do think that, if enough names, if enough people, I'd rather see people do this than, do some sort of violent then go to the steps with a gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Fancy would, but
They
what I'm
wanted
saying?
to pull a January 6th.
You know what I'm saying? So come on, seriously. So I think that a petition to make a judge rethink something or make a governor take something into consideration if there's valid reason, I'm all for that. I don't think that should set somebody free. No, I don't think that the more signatures you get, that somebody should be set free. No. Do you feel that way? How do you feel
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't feel like you should be able to.
Yeah.
See, okay, at this point, now that Gypsy has been released and she has served her sentence, I don't feel like we should be able to do a petition to reopen a case that she's already been
Yeah.
charged for
Imagine how
and
many
has already
rappers would
served her
get
time.
freed.
Right.
Like,
I just,
I'm sorry.
I don't think a petition should be able to put someone behind bars.
Exactly. A lot of stars too, a lot of movie stars and such that are behind bars. Listen, people's names sometimes are bought with dollar signs.
Yeah, it's true.
everyone sign a petition.
I'm not sure
If we were
that
to
can
start
happen.
that.
I don't know. I could look into that, but I don't know. I know that most of the petitions that go around on change.org do nothing. There isn't a possibility, I suppose, that the governor could reopen could ask for the case to be reopened and retried. There is a petition that is going around, but I really don't know. I just know that at least he has been denied by the Supreme Court of Missouri, and I think that the federal Supreme Court followed suit. But even if they haven't yet, 95% of the time, if the state Supreme Court denies the appeal, the federal Supreme Court will do the same thing.
It's truly just such a shame that he never got that fair trial. He never got that chance.
That's why I'm like, could we petition the courts to reopen it? Because he never did get the fair trial he was entitled, and he lost his civil right for that.
Yeah. Well, his civil rights were violated the second that his mother was in another freaking office telling the detectives that he had a psychotic break at 13, heard voices, is on the autism spectrum disorder, and has a mental capacity of a 12-year-old. And they continued to question him.
Exactly, Fancy. It should have full
I don't
stopped
think that's
right
what the
then.
mother
He should
said.
have had a girl.
Again, Fancy just talking out of one of her.
He should have had an attorney.
Yep. My thought process and what I believe the Nick story can do. Look, I don't know that we can help Nick. It's sad.
Look at what you did to him.
You know, it's sad that he probably will not.
In the meantime, it was 5 years ago, right? That she was sending somebody in to fucking make sure he wouldn't see the light of day. Now it's
5
sad.
years on the dot, because it was
sad.
June when they signed the contract, and this is July. It's about almost 5 years exactly.
Isn't that something? 5 years ago.
See justice or have a fair trial. But what I feel like we can do from this is ensure that this does not happen again. And my thought process on that is that in every single police station, sheriff's office, whatever, across the United States, should at all times have an advocate on staff that sits outside.
I have to tell you something, to be honest with you. It's almost insulting to be sitting. It is insulting to be sitting here knowing that at least a handful of people are gonna like take her seriously as somebody who actually cares about something and that will actually make changes for the best. That is so insulting. You know what I'm saying? Because
A
we
lot
know
of people
she's
thought that
incapable
then.
of that.
At this time especially, they hinged on everywhere. They really truly believed what she was saying, to the point that they would literally, I put a part in here later about that.
But look at Ari.
Oh, sorry.
I don't mean to interrupt. I know that I am. But the thing is, through the 5-year process before this, there was so much back and forth because these videos have come out and we've seen them, and still people were hanging on like that. That's crazy. So I'm sorry.
Yes. Like, it wasn't, there were so many times when we were like, okay, this is it. This is the turning point where people are finally going to see that she's a fraud. And it just, the false police report, the, like, I'm sorry.
The kidnapping.
Can we cut this? Cut this little part. But yeah, and it's just, and it never happened until Morbid. That is the only time in the history of this entire thing, is when Morbid decided to expose her. That is the first time I've seen actual, like, a change across, like, the what am I trying to say? Like, the general temperature? Like, no, that's not.
Yeah, where people started seeing for who she was.
Yes, like, she lost her main base of credibility and support, and it just, there's so many outrageous things that I can't understand how it didn't happen before.
I don't understand how people kept believing her after she said she was kidnapped.
Yeah, that should have been it. That should have been the, like, game over. Like, you just said you're kidnapped when you have a video of the trip.
We watched the whole thing.
Watches the interrogation video, you know, interrogation for these types of things, that would be able to step in and say, wait a minute, I'm not quite sure that this person is understanding their civil rights. I don't know that this person is capable of having this conversation with you. We need to stop this right now, and we need to do an assessment.
That would be wonderful.
That's what I believe should happen. It would be one additional person, you know, on staff that's qualified, you know, in mental health and all of that. And this would cut down on a lot of problems, you know.
It really would. I respect the fact that throughout all of this, you've remained steadfast with fact. You've never deviated from fact.
Who the hell is saying
dear
that?
Lord.
I'm so mad because I don't know. But hold on, we can see who's. Oh, it's the Grim Brat face, because everyone else's mic is muted, and it's not Fancy or Macy, so it has to be them.
Who is it?
It's the Grim. I have no idea who it is, but their username is the Grim Brat face. But yeah, like, I can name at least 107 times she's deviated from fact.
Oh my goodness. Where's the
Do you see the blind? Like, people just blindly believed her, and I don't understand how she gets people to do that.
Not
like,
even
people
just
will
like,
watch video proof of
praises
her lying and still say I'm making it up.
Praises her for her stupidity.
Yes.
Praises her for it. Oh my goodness.
I think that she does this for ego boost too. Like, she must love her ego being stroked.
It definitely, it's more important to her than any kind of self-growth or self-awareness.
You've spoken on isn't fact. You know, you let it know, hey, this is my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not infallible. I'm a human. I get things wrong. And when I get them wrong, I tell you guys, hey, I'm wrong.
No, you do not.
She never admits she's wrong.
Not
ever.
once.
Oh my goodness. And people bought that too?
Yes.
Oh God.
What she didn't want to be, and what Dee Dee was never, ever going to let her deny, was the fact that she was actually sick. Christy allows her to be delusional. Her father allows her to be delusional. Her sister does. They all allow her to be delusional in the fact that she is not sick. But the fact of the matter is she is sick. She has been sick her whole life. This baby is not a blessing. This baby is scary.
Oh, Fancy.
That
Okay.
that was
Yes.
a
Well, there's
horrible
one
We're
other
getting
clip.
into the eugenics stuff, and this part
Yes.
pisses me off because it is not Fancy's or the government's role to say who and who cannot have children.
I definitely have a problem with somebody saying that. Now, listen, do I think that the baby's 100% safe? No. Do I think?
No.
I do think that that somebody should be checking on that child because of her
Because
past
it's Gypsy's
history.
child,
Exactly.
because of her past,
But I don't
because
think that
she's a violent criminal. It has
exactly.
nothing
Not
to do
because
with
of
a
her genetics.
microdeletion. Do not tell someone their genetics is not good enough to carry on, because that is not your place. Because Fancy, someone else thinks your genetics are not good enough to carry on.
What a horrible thing to say, and acts like she's oh God, she is so deplorable. I just so disgusting. Again, we are here at the same
And she doesn't
words.
even understand. She cannot.
But she would admit
like,
it if she was wrong.
Oh yeah,
my
but she
ass.
literally doesn't even. I don't even think that she understands that she is literally preaching the basics of eugenics. Like she doesn't even understand that.
She doesn't care. She
No,
only
she
likes the
doesn't get
sound of
it.
her own voice. She just likes that people believe her. She doesn't care that she sounds like, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get banned, but it's like, you know what? Not from this country, man. Not from this country that you decide who shouldn't have kids. What's wrong with you? And you say that as if you have some sort of authority. And you're a million% right, because who the hell who thinks her genes are so friggin' great?
Doesn't this sound reminiscent of a certain regime in Germany at some point in
Exactly.
time?
That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Dumbass.
For both her and the child in many different ways. And I think that it really.
You know what's funny? Here's what's funny. All three of us at the same time, I stopped this at the same time you guys pulled your mics off. Anybody could see that in the recording when she said what she said. We all reacted the same way. Not one fucking person on that panel said to her, Fancy, that's out of line. Or Fancy, check yourself. There's something wrong with that.
Shows her obsession with, one, not being sick, and two, her obsession with having a baby and this fairy tale life that she thinks she is creating for herself. Well, I hate to tell you this, sweetheart, there are no fairy tales in real life. I'm trying to save your grandchild's life.
Oh God, Fancy, thank you so much.
Well, you
I remember this.
can be a shithead about it, or you can actually go do the genetic counseling that was recommended to you several times. Hey, did you know we made it to exposing the good wives
Genetic counseling
today?
is the new word for eugenics.
Yes. Because like that is determining, like, oh, if you have a certain genetic like problem, then you shouldn't have kids.
Don't pass that down, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, then you're an asshole, and all the fucking bullshit that went his way. Like, that's going to make him do it. That's going to make him change his mind.
They're claiming that I was live streaming Nick's neighborhood.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So apparently,
Freaking Mod was streaming the
Who
neighborhood.
was claiming it? Because we saw it. We just saw it a minute ago.
Yeah. So what happened is, I had went and posted a clip on the Fancy sub on Reddit of this, and I put the screenshot of what I posted. And you're going to see how like what I post and how they spin it and their reactions to what I post.
Apparently, the people that like to follow me around everywhere I go and
Was that you?
Yeah, she's
doing
Yes.
exposing the good wives has already
Hi.
30 minutes ago posted the video of 333 walking around Nick's neighborhood and showing it to us, and they're basically like saying that I was the one.
Are they in here now, Fancy, so I can block them?
So this is a post I made. And oh crap, that went really by quick. But I basically just said, this is Fancy. Like, yes, obviously I know that she's not the owner or the host of the live, but you are on panel supporting it. And I said, didn't he ask you to leave him alone?
There you go.
And it's unavailable now because she copyright struck me.
That's hilarious.
That's Fancy live streaming Nick's neighborhood, and of course,
it's funny because it's not your live stream. So
no,
how
it's not
are
my
you
live stream? But they're gonna
you're
try and
condoning
twist
it
and make it look like I did something bad by streaming Nick's neighbor fucking hood. Like
You did, Fancy.
You were
did do
giving
something bad.
directions.
Yes.
We heard you. God.
Do you see what my life has been like the past year?
It's a lot of gaslighting.
Oh, it gets worse.
I'm sorry. This is funny though.
It
Get a
is.
name. I will block them from this
It's
live.
funny in hindsight.
yeah, they are. I don't know
Right.
who they are. It's they go by so many different
You
names.
still don't know who I am, Fancy.
But we're the ones that are
She only
upset.
goes by one
Yep.
name. Well, two
Yep.
names.
Yeah,
Resident
I'm
We're just
resident
sitting here
mid-
doing our
or
own
exposing
freaking
I don't
thing,
have a listen
and
What?
She's saying that I have so many names. She doesn't know who I am. I'm literally Resident Midnight, who runs Exposing the Good Wives Network. That's my names.
Have you seen Have you seen April Johns's paperwork? You know how many names she goes by? We'll
Yes,
stop there.
maybe those who live in alias houses shouldn't throw stones.
There you go.
Good point.
they've got
That
to
was a
come
quote
in
from
here
Ryan,
and
by
get
the
it
way.
so that they can, Fancy live streaming Nick's neighborhood. Didn't Nick ask you to leave him alone? Now
He
you are
did.
showing his neighborhood on live. Like I'm the one who did that.
Please.
You guys, you're right. I
Anything.
mean,
It probably could be
What?
Brie.
It's not Fancy's live.
Who's talking?
That's them.
Okay.
If Fancy
It
didn't
may
do
not be
anything, and Fancy
Fancy's
didn't
live,
ask for any.
but it's Fancy's mod.
Yes, Macy
And
is
And
Fancy's
Fancy
mom.
was on that panel.
And she was encouraging it.
Yes.
Anything. So I
But
hope
I'm
they're
the wrong
recording
one, though,
that.
right?
No, they're only going to record what they want to
No.
record.
She does the same thing that she always does. Look over there. Don't go down that stairwell. Let's go down this one.
Just
See,
like what they do with
accuse me of
Ryan.
taking things out of context. I can't take that you did this out of context. Like you did it. Like
Exactly.
It's like that
exactly.
song, It Wasn't Me. It wasn't me. But they saw me on the counter. It wasn't me. Saw me
Right,
banging
right.
on the sofa.
It wasn't me.
Yep.
Caught me
Banging
red.
in the shower. Wasn't me.
Yep. The Dorito commercial.
His live.
No,
They twist
I
Ryan's
was in
words from
here.
his live and make it seem like he's saying this or doing this, and he's not really saying or doing
Unfortunately,
this.
folks in this group don't have no problem owning their shit. So if somebody says
Oh my God,
Fancy
that's
sent
okay.
them or Fancy
So I want
whatever,
y'all to own your shit after this because you said you have no problem with it.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's a joke.
they can come ask Wild Bird, and I bet 333rd ain't gonna have a problem with saying that it was her idea and her thing.
well, it's been out for 36 minutes and they've gotten no views. So, and they only have 221 whole subscribers on their YouTube. So,
Oh Jesus!
Is she always
this is-
making the smaller
It's on YouTube already.
That's not about morals and values. It's about YouTube and the channels and the subscribers and the
Yeah,
clicks
and
the
she's like
views.
saying like, "Oh, look how she has no subs," and I was like, "I'm literally a YouTube channel dedicated to just exposing you. You don't have that many subs, so this is not something you're gonna go viral doing."
Yeah. And as many
kind of
subs
a
as
niche
she has,
market.
you have to
Yeah.
see how many are there to actually support her or how many are there for the train wreck.
I
it's on
would say
YouTube.
90% of the people are there for the train wreck.
Right?
Maybe 10% are dumb enough to support her.
Yep. I agree.
Good luck,
I
guys.
agree. And I would say probably 50% are there for the train wreck. 10% might be there to support her and the other 40% are there either because they really can't stand her and for entertainment and educational purposes only.
But Fancy, their subscribers are probably all your
333's
fans just waiting
comment?
to debunk them.
I know. That's
How are you gonna debunk a video?
Isn't that ridiculous? Again, instead of just owning it and saying, yeah, I did it, so what?
Mhm.
Or, yeah, I did it and I shouldn't have done it.
Funny. I'm lying. Okay.
She wants everybody to be held accountable for what's said on Morbid's panel.
So it
Yep.
shows it here. This is it right
Now, what's
here.
this
Let me
part?
grab it. I'll send it.
She is
here
giving the
to
link to
me.
my channel to go send all of her minions to go leave hate comments.
Leave hate comments and report it.
Yes. Now, are you
This was
starting
right
to
before
see?
her,
Well, I got to say,
her channel was banned.
in all fairness, we just did this about her because of how she behaved. So, but
I see it as cause and effect.
this isn't, but here's the thing. You didn't.
But I'm telling the truth, though.
Exactly.
Like,
That's the point. The point is that you're just asking.
she's trying to silence the truth about her. You are trying to hold someone accountable.
Exactly. And
yes,
just asking a question doesn't deserve this.
Yes. And keep in mind that these minions, these like brainwashed people who are all supporting her at this time, they don't know that they must not know, because I know what she did to Nick at this time. That's why I'm so opposed to her.
Right.
And
right.
they are acting like I'm just this person who wants to attack and hurt Fancy's feelings. And I'm like, you don't understand. You don't actually know what you're talking about, because you don't understand why it's such a big deal that Fancy's even speaking Nick's name right now, let alone doing this.
Okay.
Oh, and this is also just a few weeks after, like 2 weeks after the kidnapping, quote unquote kidnapping.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So this is a really, really like tumultuous time where we're
her,
like, are
yeah.
you kidding me? You people are still believing her.
Right.
You're still hanging on her every word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, all right. So now I need to be able to send it to you guys. I don't know how.
That's horrible. Horrible.
Guys, I don't know how. Hold on a second.
And then
That's horrible. Is that the end of it?
No, there's a couple of screenshots coming up.
Okay.
But
Because
on the
maybe
screen,
we can even put this.
oh, sorry. Yeah, when it comes to
Then our,
screenshots, you can pause it really quick on the screenshots.
Yeah.
And our gypsy needs to go back to jail chat and have them comment on it.
Yeah.
Yes, this is one of the screenshots.
Right.
So yeah,
Hang
just on the first screenshots coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, right here. So the top comment, I can't read the username, and also if that's her real name, I don't want to say that on YouTube, I guess. But that is the person who was walking around showing the neighborhood. And so she commented and she said, 1, I offered to take everyone on a walk, and 2, it's my neighborhood too. And I'm like, well, that's very neighborly of you. Like, just
yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
And then so keep in mind, okay, on the next screenshot, sorry. Okay, so this is one of Fancy's mods. She's been a long-time mod for Fancy. And so she denies publicly that she supports Fancy, so that when she is one of the ones leading the charge to quote unquote expose me. And so what she does is she denies a connection to Fancy, so that when people see all this bad stuff she posts about me, they don't connect it to Fancy. Because if someone sees a whole page just about me and I'm exposing Fancy, and they know that's Fancy's mod running the page, then they're going to take what she says with a grain of salt. So what she did is she makes this, that's not the account she mods on, okay? She made this account just so that, and she says she doesn't support Fancy. But it's so funny that the link got dropped in you guys' chat, and you're one of the first people to comment.
Right, absolutely.
And then it goes further. The next screenshots are me proving she's lying about being Fancy's mod.
Okay.
So this is from last February. Do you see the account with purple hearts right there with the little moderator symbol next to their name? That's her.
Okay.
And then the next screenshot is this is her in August. And she always says that, oh, I was a mod, but I left, or I don't support. It's always something, okay?
Right.
But so you were coming after me and saying I'm lying about being in the military and saying all these lies about me all this time. You are a mod for Fancy. It's in writing. You are a Fancy supporter.
There you go. There you go.
These people like literally have nothing better to do. These people like literally have nothing better to do. These people like literally have nothing better to do.
Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip, and that was Resident Midnight and Mrs. Fancy Pants, who came to share their story with our channel, with our community, with you guys so that you could clearly see what's going on. You know, there's a lot of hearsay and a lot of this and a lot of that and a lot of anger. But the anger is only because of the exposure of somebody's bad behavior or somebody's, plural, bad behaviors. Don't you think that they should be held accountable? Why, when you bring out somebody's bad behavior, as these people have done, I'm talking about people on Fancy's team, you know, people that work with Fancy, they're eager to bring out everybody's bad behavior, even when they get it completely wrong. But they have a problem when you bring out theirs. Think about that. Guys, I thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day. I thank you so much for coming to this channel, and I hope finding truth, because that's what we're trying to do here. And again, I want to thank Resident Midnight and Miss Fancy Pants for coming on and sharing with us what's going on with them and helping them expose who the bad guys really are. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Thank you. See you on the next one, because there's more.